A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. I welcome you all to the Khoja Heritage Festival in collaboration with World Federation in Karachi, Shia Isnashri Jamaat. Before we go any further, I'd like to invite Qari Irtiza so that he can come and recite a few verses of Holy Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. قالت الأعراب آمنا قل لم تؤمنوا ولكن قولوا أسلمنا ولما يدخل الإيمان في قلوبكم وإن تطيعوا الله ورسوله لا يلتكم من أعمالكم شيئا إن الله غفور رحيم. إنما المؤمنون الذين آمنوا بالله إنما المؤمنون الذين آمنوا بالله ورسوله ثم لم يرتابوا وجاهدوا ورسوله ثم لم يرتابوا وجاهدوا بأموالهم وأنفسهم في سبيل الله أولئك هم الصادقون. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات.
Before we take the program further, I'd like to invite Mr. Muslim Mehdavi, who could come here and recite a few verses of the Manqabat.
بر محمد وآل محمد صلوات. اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد. برائے خوشنودی امام زمان علیہ السلام بلند ترین صلوات پڑھیں. اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد. بس میں امام زمانہ کے حضور ہی ایک کلام پیش کر دیتا ہوں. ونس اگین بلند ترین صلوات پڑھ دیں ایک بار. اللہم صلی علی. یا امام زمان، یا امام زمان، یا امام زمان، یا امام زمان، اللہ جل اللہ جل، یا امام اللہ جل، منتظر کب سے ہے آپ کا یہ جہاں. یا امام زمان، یا امام زمان، کچھ تو بتلائے مولا کہ تم ہو کہاں. یا امام زمان، یا امام زمان، ارے اپنی فریاد مولا میں کسے کروں، اپنی فریاد مولا میں کسے کروں. حال دل اپنا بتلاؤ کسے کہوں، حال دل اپنا بتلاؤ کسے کہوں. بن تمہارے نہیں کوئی میرا یہاں. یا امام زمان، یا امام زمان، یا امام زمان، یا امام زمان. اور دیکھنا چاہتا ہوں میں جلوہ تیرا، دیکھنا چاہتا ہوں میں جلوہ تیرا. منتظر منتظر ہوں تیری دید کا، منتظر منتظر ہوں تیری دید کا. رخ سے پردہ اٹھائے اے حاجت روا. یا امام زمان، یا امام زمان، یا امام زمان، یا امام زمان. دنیا کے حالات آپ کے سامنے ہیں. ارے کتنے لوگوں کے سر سے، کتنے لوگوں کے سر سے ہے سایہ اٹھا، فلسطین ہو یا لبنان ہو، کتنے لوگوں کے سر سے ہے سایہ اٹھا. ارے کس طرح سے ہے بچوں کو مارا گیا، کس طرح سے ہے بچوں کو مارا گیا. رو کے کہتی ہے ہر ایک مظلوم ماں. یا امام زمان، یا امام زمان. اور دیکھتے ہیں देखते हैं तेरी सिमत सब अंबिया, राह तकती है कब से तेरी करबला, राह तकती है कब से तेरी करबला। आए वार से शाह कौनो मका, या इमाम ज़मा, या इमाम ज़मा। और शर्म आती है मुस्लिम को ये सोच कर, चल पड़ा है ये मौला किस सिमत पर, चल पड़ा है ये मौला किस सिमत पर। अपनी हालत करूं क्या मैं तुझसे बयां, या इमाम ज़मा, या इमाम ज़मा। अलजल अलजल या इमाम अलजल, या इमाम ज़मा, या इमाम ज़मा, या इमाम ज़मा, या इमाम ज़मा।
I'd formally like to invite you all and thank you all for coming here in this Khoja Heritage Festival. While we're speaking about the Khoja Heritage Festival with Hassan Bhai, we are talking about will the mode of communication be English, Gujarati or Urdu, and we decided let's go with hybrid. So I will try to mix English as well as Urdu and a bit of Gujarati. Gujarati I cannot speak too fluently, which is one of the things that we should look in the Khoja Heritage Festival. The Gujarati that I can speak, Badu joyi ryo chun, mari najar ma che, haan joyi ryo chun, not much more. But the person that I'm calling to actually welcome you all for this Khoja Heritage Festival is one of the most charismatic personalities that we have in our Khoja community. He's the Vice President of the Khoja Sira Ishtashna'i Jamaat. He's the Secretary General of Pakistan Federation. He's also the Advocate General Sindh, and he's none other than Mr. Hassan Akbar. I'd like to invite him on stage. Hassan bhai, please come and please give your opening address. Thank you.
Thank you, Kumal. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalatu wassalam ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursaleen. The Honorable President, World Federation Al-Hajj Safder Jaffer, the Honorable Head of the Khoja Heritage Project Hassan Walji, President Pakistan Federation and Khoja Pirhai Jamaat Janab Abul Hassan Gokal, Presidents and managements of all regional federations, honorable visiting guests from World Federation, respected community members, guests, elders, brothers, sisters, and especially our youngsters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. On behalf of Pakistan Federation and its constituent Jamaats, I welcome and congratulate all Khoja brothers and sisters to the Global Khoja Heritage Day. This is the third year that this day is being celebrated across the globe by all 6 regions of the World Federation of Khoja Isnashari Muslim communities. Heritage is what we have inherited from our forefathers, our elders. The tangible and intangible heritage the properties, the possession, the ownerships, the literature, the attributes, the traditions, the gathias and dandiyas passed on to us from generations to generations. Our today's heritage is what we have inherited from our ancestors and elders. Our today's heritage is what we have inherited, but the heritage of our future generations will depend upon what we leave for them. Preserving the rich architecture that we have, especially in India, Pakistan and around the world, and archiving and digitizing our historic literature and documents are the primary steps for preserving our heritage, and which have already been initiated by the World Federation, like many other wonderful initiatives from our dynamic president, Alhaj Safder Bhai. However, if we are to keep our identity alive for our future generations, I would emphasize on two most important features of our heritage, which require special focus and attention, and which will be considered as priceless gifts for our future generations. The first and foremost of which is our belief in Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, which is the core foundation of our intangible heritage. On this front, although every Jamaat and every region has its own unique challenges depending upon their geographical dynamics, however, the fast-changing political scenarios, the wars around the world, and the ever-increasing pressures from nationalism are yet some of the many challenges which demand special attention on this issue. Language. The preservation of language, I feel, is the second biggest challenge for conservation of our culture for our future generations. For instance, in Pakistan Federation, we have 9 Jamaats, where we have inherited at least 3 languages from our forefathers, that is Sindhi, Gujarati and Kutchi. Unfortunately, the ground reality is that none of these 3 languages are being spoken by the present generation of Sindhis or Gujaratis or Kutchis. Efforts are therefore needed on war footings for preservation and propagation of these languages in our region, and likewise in other regions according to their regional challenges. In a globalized world, preserving the Khoja community's culture, identity is difficult and complex, especially for younger generation. To ensure its survival, Khoja identity must evolve without losing core values. Crucially, youth engagement is key, as without their involvement, efforts to preserve heritage risk being disconnected from the future. We are here to unite and to celebrate our ancestors and cherish their achievements, alongside a variety of engaging and reflective activities. In the end, I congratulate all Khoja brothers and sisters on this auspicious day, including one of our, on this day, let's not forget our marhumin brothers and sisters who are no more with us today. Let's recite Surah Fatiha for all marhumins, including one of our most active and most senior member, Alhaj Marhum Muhammad Ali Jaffer Bhai. Bar Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad salawat. Allah.
To give a proper light on how the journey of the Khoja Heritage Festival, the Khoja Heritage, how it was conceived, how it has done up till now, how it has been planned for the future, everything can be well spoken about, can be told best by Mr. Hassan Walji. But before I call him on the stage, I'd like you all to look at an opening ceremony video that we have made by Hassan Walji sahab. and that will give you a bit of idea about the Khoja Heritage Festival.
Welcome to the Khoja Heritage Day, where we weave the threads of time and celebrate the treasure trove of culture, traditions, and values that bind our Khoja Shia introductory community across the globe. Every tale whispered and exchanged carries the essence of generations past, nurturing the roots of our collective heritage. From bustling city centers to tranquil villages, our Khoja heritage thrives in every corner of the world. Thanks to the diligent work of the Khoja Heritage Project, our history is not just safeguarded, but brought to life.
The World Federation stands as a steadfast supporter of our heritage. It is through honoring our past that we create a meaningful future. As we uplift our communities, we also weave a brighter future where our shared values serve as the foundation for progress.
Empowering our youth with the wisdom of their roots ensures that the flame of our heritage burns brightly.
ઓક્ટોબર 2022માં શરૂ કરેલ ગ્લોબલ ખોજા હેરિટેજ ડે દર વર્ષે વિશ્વભરમાં આપણો ઇતિહાસ અને આપણા પૂર્વજોની યાત્રાઓની યાદ કરીએ છીએ. કરાચીથી ન્યુયોર્ક સુધી જમાતો વિશ્વભરમાં એકત્રિત થાય છે અને આપણે આપણો સાંસ્કૃતિક વારસો, ઐતિહાસિક માર્ગ અને ખાસ કરીને અહલુલ બૈત અલૈહિસ્સલામની રાહ પર આવવાની ઉજવણી કરીએ છીએ. ઘણા વર્ષોના સંશોધન પછી ડૉક્ટર હસન વાલજીએ ખોજા દિવાલનું સંકલન કર્યું છે. તે આપણા 1000 વર્ષના ઇતિહાસનું પ્રભાવશાળી પ્રદર્શન છે. આ ખોજા વોલ માત્ર ઇતિહાસ નથી, તે આપણી સંસ્કૃતિ અને ધાર્મિક માન્યતાઓનું સાક્ષીપત્ર છે કે જે ખોજા સમુદાયની કસોટીઓ, વિપત્તિઓ અને સફળતા દર્શાવે છે, નવી પેઢીઓને પ્રેરણા આપે છે અને દરેકને આપણા પૂર્વજોની મહેનતની કદર કરવા માટે પ્રોત્સાહિત કરે છે. મુંબઈની વ્યસ્ત ગલીઓ, કચ્છના શાંત પ્રદેશો અથવા ભાવનગરના ઐતિહાસિક ખૂણાઓ બતાવીને ખોજા હેરિટેજ ટૂરે આ દિવસ સુધીના વિશ્વભરના પ્રવાસીઓને આપણી કોમના ઇતિહાસને આકાર આપનારા સ્થળોનું મહત્ત્વ બતાવ્યું છે. આશા છે કે આપ સૌ ખોજા હેરિટેજ ડે અને ખોજા હેરિટેજ ટૂર જેવી આપણી પ્રવૃત્તિઓમાં ભાગ લેશો, કારણ કે આ સફર માત્ર ભૂતકાળને યાદ કરવાની નથી, તે આપણા ભવિષ્યને દિશા આપે છે. આ ભૂતકાળના તે ફાનસ છે કે જે આપણી કોમને પ્રગતિ માટે ભવિષ્યની દીવાદાંડી છે. When you talk about heritage, a question that can be answered is, who are you? And you might start to answer that question with your name, but of course you're much more than a name. What are your values? Where did your ancestors come from? Why do you follow the faith traditions that you follow? All these things and many others come together to make up who you are. And today, we have a wonderful opportunity to reflect a little deeper as to an important factor about our identity as a people by looking at our heritage. Let me share a statistic with you. We as the Khoja Shiite nationalists are just 150,000, perhaps less, of the 200 million Shias around the world. In that 150 years of our conversion, we have built nearly 300 religious buildings, mosques, imam bargas, and so on and so forth. Which means we have built 2 buildings a year in our existence as Khoja Shia Efesives. Above all, preserving our cultural heritage engenders a positive feeling of communal support. It is said, and research says this, that those who identify strongly with a certain heritage are often more likely to help each other within the same community. I say this, that the testimony of that bonding lies in the creation of an enviable network of Jamaats, regional federations, and the World Federation which bind us together. And I hope that the Khoja Heritage Day will engender an even greater sense of belonging and help retain the valuable social capital that our forefathers have built up through a lot of sacrifices over several generations.
Let our shared heritage be the symphony that resonates through time, reminding us of the ties that bind us. Join us in embracing the essence of Khoja heritage. Together, let's shape a future that's steeped in our vibrant past.
We can all see for ourselves the work Dr. Hassan has put in for the Khoja Heritage Festival. I congratulate him and wish him all the success for the many years that have to come. But if you think this is where he has stopped, no thank you, he has not. We'll be playing the Khoja anthem that Dr. Hassan Walji and his team has developed. Let me all ask you to please look and listen to the Khoja anthem that Dr. Hassan Walji and the team has developed.
मोहम्मद मुस्तफा चे पैगंबर हमारा मोहम्मद मुस्तफा चे पैगंबर हमारा शिष्यों चे अहल बैतना अली नाशिया में शिष्यों चे अहल बैतना अली नाशिया में मासूम चे चौदने इमाम चे बार हमारा मासूम चे चौदने इमाम चे बार हमारा वसीये चे जगत बर्मा में वसीये चे जगत बर्मा में मस्जिदो इमाम वाला चे मुल्क हमारा मस्जिदो इमाम वाला चे मुल्क हमारा बिरादरी चे हमारी कहिए जिन जमात हमें बिरादरी चे हमारी कहिए जिन जमात हमें इखलास ने सादगी चे नारा कौम ना हमारा इखलास ने सादगी चे नारा कौम ना हमारा आप ये तने वास्ता पंजतन ना हमें आप ये तने वास्ता पंजतन ना हमें तौफीक दीजिए अमने ऐ पालनहार हमारा तौफीक दीजिए हमने ए पालनहार हमारा चोरिए नहीं कदी सिरातुल मुस्तकीम हमें चोरिए नहीं कदी सिरातुल मुस्तकीम हमें हमेशा भी रहे हमेशा दिल में हमारा हमेशा भी रहे हमेशा दिल में हमारा खोजा चीज नशी पंजना हमें मोहम्मद मुस्तफा चे पैगंबर हमारा शिष्यों चे अहल बैतना अली नाशिया में मासूम से चौदने ईमान से बार हमारा मासूम से चौदने ईमान से बार हमारा
Without much further ado, the next person that I'd like to call upon is Dr. Hassan Walji. He's an educator and a scientist in the field of nutrition and integrative medicine with 26 books to his credit. He served as Secretary General, Vice President and President of the World Federation and now heads the Khoja Heritage Project for what we are all here. Dr. Walji co-founded the Mullah Asghar Resource Center, serves as a trustee to the Jaffer Family Foundation and is the Executive Director of United Global Initiative. He is also on the advisory board of North American University in Houston and collaborates closely on Ashura track at the Harvard Divinity School. He has produced The Khoja's A Journey of Faith, a documentary tracing 700 years of Khoja history. His passion is creating a better world for his 7 grandchildren. May I call upon Dr. Hassan Walji.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا أبو القاسم محمد ومن المحبين وإترة الطاهرين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Mu'mineen, I stand before you humbled that we are gathered here in the largest Khoja Shia Ithnashri Jamaat of the world, the Khoja Shia Ithnashri Pirhai Jamaat. I'd like to immensely appreciate the hard work that went into developing this program and the team that worked closely with me so we can be here today for this particular event. At the same time, there is a global audience that is watching us today. Mu'mineen from around the Khoja world have tuned in because this is the 3rd global live stream of the Khoja Heritage Project. We began in Toronto. Last year we were in London, and this year we are here in Karachi, beaming to the entire Khoja world. And I welcome everyone who is here and who's also joined us online to this particular program. Let me begin with a pain that we were going through on the 2nd Khoja Heritage Day. This was the time when one part of the Ummah was being oppressed, children were being killed, atrocities were being committed, and we felt that pain on that day. And throughout the year we have continued to feel that pain as we see that in addition to Palestine, now Lebanon is under the same condition where oppression, tyranny, and I would even go to the extent of saying genocide continues. We condemn it. At the same time, we pray for justice and safety of all human beings on this planet, regardless of race, caste, or religion. Human beings are human beings, and they have a right to have human dignity, they have a right to have justice, and this is what we stand for, and this is what our faith stands for. while we remember that pain, today we are also here to remember our forefathers. Not far from here, Denzo Hall, near Denzo Hall. I don't know if it still exists, I'm not sure. It does. Near Denzo Hall, something happens in the mid-19th century. A man walking peacefully, going about his business, had a knife on his head. Fortunately, he survived. Why? In his turban was a tasbih. And that tasbih perhaps saved him from that wound of the knife that was dealt to him. Few months later, sadly, he was shot. He was shot and killed. We remember him because the Khoja Shia Ethnicity Pirhai Jamaat offered the very first martyr of the Khoja Shia Ethnicity community in the persona of Lalan Aladdin. This is the history. That is why we need to remember. That is why we need to ensure that our heritage is never forgotten. In Mumbai, we had two other Shohada, Lalji Sajan and Hirji Ala Rakhia. All these three had to give their lives so that they could practice the Shia ethnicity faith, and more so that they actually leave us that legacy of the faith of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. That is why we are here today. And therefore heritage is not just a matter of celebration. Heritage is a matter of remembering, of ensuring that those sacrifices that were made by so many people are remembered and never forgotten. As the Vice President of the Jamaat said, this heritage requires that we never ever forget it, and the Khoja Heritage Project is here to commemorate the struggles, the trials and tribulations of our forefathers. I would like to pose a question before I move on. A question is that our forefathers, and I want some introspection here, some muhasibah. Our forefathers gave their lives. Some of them gave up their businesses. Some of them had to sacrifice family ties. Why? Because they wanted to come to the school of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. Question is, and I don't want you to answer that question. I have struggled myself with that question to answer. Today, if we were faced with the same challenge, how would we act? How would we react? What would we be willing to give up in order to secure and stay on this path? That is why heritage becomes so very important for us to understand. Now, I was told, and we decided that this was going to be a hybrid. Sadly, as was again mentioned, that none of the languages that we inherited are now being freely spoken, which is a sad thing, but that's how life moves. People develop in different cultures. At least here you have Urdu being spoken as one of those languages which I also call our heritage language, in addition to Sindhi, Gujarati and Kutchi. Where I come from, our children have totally lost this language. And I say this to the global audience that's listening, that it is the duty of every parent to ensure that one way or another we are able to at least instill some level of literacy of our vernaculars, our mother tongues, whatever it may be. But if I were not to speak in Gujarati, then I would actually be violating that very principle. So please, my brothers and sisters in Iman, indulge me a little bit when I switch to Gujarati. I'll try and make it as simple Gujarati that hopefully most people will understand. તો મોમીન, આજે હું તમારી સમક્ષ એક નાની વસ્તુ મૂકવા માંગુ છું. અને તમને થશે કે આ વાત અત્યારે કરવાની છે આ ખોજા હેરિટેજમાં, જ્યાં દુનિયા આખી આપણને જોઈ રહી છે. મારી આ જે સ્ટોરી છે, મારી આ જે વાર્તા છે ખીચડાની. ભાઈ ખીચડો શા માટે? ઘણા વર્ષો પહેલાં એક મેગેઝિનની અંદર મેં વાંચ્યું, એક આર્ટિકલ હતું ગુજરાતીમાં, લગભગ 1930માં કે 20માં લખાયેલું હશે કે ખીચડો શા માટે. હવે આજે મને ખબર નથી મેન્યુમાં શું છે આના પછી, પણ ખીચડાની વાત હું એટલા માટે કરી રહ્યો છું કે હેરિટેજમાં we can learn some few things from some of the smallest things that we may consider insignificant. ચાલો આજે હું તમને વર્તેજ ગામમાં લઈ જાઉં. વર્તેજ is a small village not far from Bhavnagar. Vartej has a singular history that the entire Jamaat converted overnight from Shia Ismaili into Shia Ethnacharis, and the Jamaat Khana that was obviously converted into an Imam Barga. Legend has it, there was at that time that Aga Khan Sahib decided to send that farman to say that all the property that belonged to the Jamaat must belong to the Imam, must belong to the Aga Khan. This is a historical fact. It may not be documented as much as it is, but I have learned from the elders of Vartej that this is what happened. The reason I say Vartej is a typical small village, a small town, where something used to happen, still continues to happen. You have the Mukhi Sahib of that Jamaat, કે જ્યાં ખીચડો રંધાઈ રહ્યો છે. મુખી સાહેબ ખીચડો ગૂંટી રહ્યા છે. હવે એ ખીચડો કેવી રીતે બન્યો એના ઉપર મારે વાત કરવી છે. મારી બહેનો મને માફ કરશે, મને રાંધતા આવડતું નથી એટલે હું કોઈ રેસીપી આપવાનો નથી. રેસીપી માટે you have this book that we have created, that you will find that there are some very typical Khoja international recipes in that particular book that we have created. પણ ખીચડો જ્યારે બનતો હતો, બનતા પહેલા, before that khichdo was being made, those who could afford it came with meat and put it in the big bag there. Those who were middle class, who could not afford the meat, actually brought wheat and put it in the bag. And those who had very little to offer brought a little bit of salt અને થોડો મસાલો લાવ્યા, મીઠું અને થોડું મરચું અને મસાલો, અને એ લોકોએ પણ એ દેગની અંદર મૂક્યું. ત્યારે એક ખીચડો બન્યો. હવે આ શા માટે વાર્તા કરી રહ્યો છું, તમારો વખત બગાડી રહ્યો છું ખીચડા ઉપર? If we really analyze the egalitarian concept of the Khoja Shia ethnic community, every contribution was valued. Every person who contributed was able to do it according to the means that they had. Everybody had ownership in the activities of the Jamaat. This is the meaning of preserving human dignity of every person, regardless of their material wealth, regardless of their net worth, and regardless of who they were. My friends, this is how we learn from heritage as to what heritage means. We need to go back and see how much of that egalitarianism is actually being applied by us. So, giving you this example, the lessons from this khichdo was unity and cooperation, equality of contributions, and generosity based on what you could afford. Isn't this a wonderful lesson? કે આપણે આમાંથી કેટલું શીખી શકીએ છીએ? મોમિનીન, આ વારસો છે. ઘણી વખતે હેરિટેજને, આપણી સંસ્કૃતિને આપણે એની કદર કરતા નથી. દાદીમાના દાગીના હશે, ઘરેણા હશે, તો એને આપણે સાચવશું વંશ પરંપરા, વર્ષો સુધી, જનરેશન આફ્ટર જનરેશન. કારણ કે વેલ્યુએબલ છે, આપણી નજરમાં એક એની કિંમત છે. આ હેરિટેજ છે એ પણ આપણો બેશક વારસો છે. અંતમાં વધુ વખત ન લેતા અને ટાઈમની પાબંદી રાખતા, મારે ફક્ત એટલું જ કહેવું છે, અને તમે વિડીયોની અંદર જોયું હશે કે આપણે કઈ કઈ કોશિશો કરી રહ્યા છે, અને વર્લ્ડ ફેડરેશનની વેબસાઇટ ઉપર પણ ખોજા હેરિટેજ વિશે અને બીજી રિજનલ ફેડરેશન અને જમાતોના જે કામ થઈ રહ્યા છે. મારે ફક્ત એક જ નુકતો મૂકી અને મારી વાત ખતમ કરવી છે કે આજે 1 લાખ અને સફદરભાઈ કહેશે કે 1,46,000, જો હું ન ભૂલતો હું તો, કે જે છેલ્લું સેન્સસ થયું હતું, કે 1,46,000ની કોમ જે 200 મિલિયન શિયાઓનું એક ભાગ છે, આપણે એને એક પર્સપેક્ટિવમાં સમજીએ. ઘણી વખતે એવું થાય છે કે તમે આ ખોજા શું કરી રહ્યા છો? વી મસ્ટ બી પાર્ટ ઓફ ધી 200 મિલિયન શિયા ઉમ્મા. ધીસ ઇઝ હુ વી આર. આપણે કોઈ દિવસ ના પાડી નથી that we are not part of the ummah. History and present data records કે per capita જે ખોજા કોમનું contribution છે to the wider world, to the Shia world, to the humanity at large, then we will actually know that per capita we are probably the biggest donors of any particular community to the Shia world. This is who we are. So please, do not be misled by certain quarters where we are told that we must be part of the, and therefore we must drop the Khoja label. We cannot. The World Federation has a motto. It says, we exist to serve. That is a line that we use. Everywhere you will see કે આપણે we exist to serve. હું એટલું કહું છું કે વર્લ્ડ ફેડરેશને WF8 અને આટલા વર્ષો થયા, આજે 50 વર્ષ થશે આવતા વર્ષે વર્લ્ડ ફેડરેશનને 2026માં, જે કાર્યો થયા છે સર્વિસના, અગર એનું પણ મૂળ જોવામાં આવે અને ઇમેજિન કે આપણે લોકો વી એક્ઝિસ્ટ ઉપર ઊભા રહી જઈએ, વી એક્ઝિસ્ટ ફક્ત કરીએ, સર્વ પૂરતા જાય પણ નહીં, તો વી એક્ઝિસ્ટ વાય? હાઉ? We exist because we are Khojas. We exist because we had a Khoja identity. We exist because our forefathers left that spirit and had that particular affinity to actually be a community. This is who we are. આપણી એક કોમ છે, ઇમામ હુસૈન કાઝિમ અલ ઇસ્લામનો કોલ છે કે તમારી પાસે તમારા હાથમાં અખરોટ હોય અને કોઈ તમને કહે કે આ મોતી છે, પળ છે, તો એ અખરોટમાંથી પળ નથી બની જવાનું. ઇમામે એ પણ કહ્યું કે તમારા હાથમાં અગર મોતી હોય અને કોઈ એને અખરોટ કહે તો એ અખરોટ નથી થઈ જવાનું. મોમિનીન, આપણા હાથમાં ખોજા શિયા ઇથનાશરી કોમ તરીકે એક મોતી છે. કોઈ એને જો કહે કે અખરોટ છે, બિલકુલ નહીં માનતા, કબૂલ નહીં કરતા કોઈ દિવસ. આપણે ખોજા શિયા ઇથનાશરી છીએ અને આપણી વંશ પરંપરા અગર આ જ રીતે રહેશે તો ઇન્શાલ્લાહ આ કોમ આગળ વધતી જશે. ફક્ત એટલું જ કે આજે ગુજરાતીની જે વાત થાય છે અને કોમ્યુનિટીની વાત થાય છે, હું આ એક શેર ઉપર મારી વાત ખતમ કરું છું, કારણ કે શેરો શાયરી ફક્ત ઉર્દુમાં નથી હોતા, શેરો શાયરી ગુજરાતીમાં પણ હોય છે. જ્યારે એક તરફ અલ્લામા ઇકબાલે કહ્યું હતું કોમ્યુનિટી બારામાં કે ફર્દ કાયમ હૈ રબ્તે મિલ્લત સે તન્હા કુછ નહીં, ફર્દ કાયમ रब्ते मिल्लत से है तन्हा कुछ ही नहीं, मौज है दरिया में बीरून दरिया कुछ भी नहीं. This is the part of the community. Now let me translate that in the words of Barkat Befam, one of the most famous poets of the Khoja world, who was actually given a Nobel laureate prize by Indira Gandhi in his days. And he says, and I quote, અને આના ઉપર હું મારી વાત ખતમ કરું છું મોમિનીન, કે એકલો ચાલીશ તો તું રસ્તો જાણીશ, એકલો ચાલીશ તો તું રસ્તો જાણીશ, એકઠા ચાલશો તો મંઝિલ મેળવશો. If you walk alone, you may find the road, you may find a path. પણ એકઠા ચાલશો, when you walk together, you will find the destination. We have walked together for the last 150 years, my friends. And inshallah we will continue to walk together so that we can make one manzil after another as we elevate this particular community. With that said, as was in the documentary. And I just wanted to put this point that yes, we have 150 years of record of building 300 centers across the world. Wherever we are, we have built centers, be it in the US, be it, we have Dr. Nizam Merali here, for example. He's here on behalf of the Salam Center, one of the biggest centers being built in the United Kingdom. We have a beautiful mosque in Orlando where a mosque has been built. This particular continued, we have a video where we continue. Why do we do this? We do this because we need places of worship. We need to come together, and this is the manzil that we have. So I say thank you once again, team, for your wonderful support. Pramukh Sahib, the president of Pak Federation and the president of Pirhai Jamaat, Abul Bhai, thank you for your personal support, and also thank you Safder Bhai, Sheikh Safder Jaffer, the president of the World Federation, for his very benevolent attitude to allow Khoja Heritage Project to do whatever it can, and the total support being offered by you. I thank you, Safder Bhai, for the excellent support that we have received. We are here. Tomorrow we have a podcast on Gujarati. Please try and join that. We'd like to listen from the youths. The idea of just saying that Gujarati must be promoted, we cannot just give a lip service to it. We really got to walk the walk. And I invite you all to join tomorrow for this heritage podcast that we have, where we will be discussing the idea of Khoja. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Hassan Walji. It was an enlightening speech, but the next thing that we're going to be looking on is the history of the Pakistan Jamaat's work. When I stand here, I see so many faces that have been the part of Pakistan's heritage. Iqbal Bhai is here, Mazhar Bhai is here, Jamil Yusuf Saab is here, Jamani Saab is here. If I forget any name, please. I apologize for forgetting any name. Sarwar Bhai is here. The next video that we'll be watching is the history of heritage of the Pakistan Jamaat. Let us all collectively watch this video.
This is a story of a community on a journey of faith. It is a tale of a people who learn to contain their newfound faith in a crucible of culture, while traversing 4 continents in as many generations. Hailing from the remote towns and villages of Western India, they left their ancestral homes and traveled on bullock carts, eventually embarking on a seabound voyage across the Indian Ocean to an unexplored continent. Some left their homes in search of better pastures, while others sought to find a safe haven from religious strife and persecution in the wake of their recent conversion to a newfound faith. They are known as the Khojas, who originally hail from the land of Sindh, now part of Pakistan, as well as from Kutch and Kathiawar, part of the modern-day state of Gujarat, India. Like many other Indians from western Indian state of Gujarat, the Khojas now form part of the enterprising transnational community dotted all around the globe.
How did these folks with a Hindu heritage convert to what they are today? Ithnashri Khoja, Sunni Khoja, and Ismaili Khoja. What led to this division within the Khoja community? Where does the community go from here?
Our story began some 650 years ago upon the arrival of a mystic by the name of Safder in the region of Sindh, located between the current borders of Pakistan and India. Here Safder settled in Sindh, where he lived among the rich Hindu landowners of the Indian Lohana caste. Safder successfully convinced them that he brought with him the good tidings of the coming of the 10th incarnation of Lord Vishnu they were waiting for, and his name was Ali. This was his ingenious, and some may say disingenuous, way of converting a number of Lohana Takars to a new faith called Satpanth, meaning true path. Satpanth is a peculiar mystical admixture of Sufic Hindu beliefs. The essence of Safder teachings were preserved in a book called Das Autar, which, until recently, was considered a primary text for the Khoja Ismaili followers of the Aga Khan. The new faith of Satpanth needed a new identity. Pir Safder obliged and bestowed upon these converts a new title. They were no longer to call themselves Takars. Instead, they would now be addressed with the honorific title of Khoja, a Persian word close to the meaning of the word Takar. This name, Khoja, eventually became Khoja, a phonetic corruption of the original title. Today, the overall number of the Khojas is very small, considering that there are over 200 million Shia Muslims in the world today. Of those, there are some 400,000 Ismaili Khojas and 150,000 Ithna Ashari Khoja, and there are less than 10,000 Sunni Khoja. It all started with the arrival in Mumbai of the Aga Khan Hassan Ali Shah, the 46th Imam of the Ismailis. Also known as Hassan Ali Shah Mahalati, he was the son-in-law of the Persian king Fateh Ali Shah and the governor of Kirman province in Persia. Passing via Sindh, Kutch, and Kathiawar, this Persian nobleman eventually settled in Mumbai in 1848. His presence had cataclysmic impact on the Khoja community in Mumbai, sending ripples to parts of Kutch and Kathiawar in India and as far as East Africa. At the time, the Khoja community had remnants of the Satpanthi beliefs, Shia rituals, and Sunni practices. When the Aga Khan attempted to streamline practices and control the assets of the community, he faced dissension from some wealthy quarters. After a decade of debates and dissension, a group of wealthy Khojas, led by merchant Prince Habib Ibrahim, filed a suit in the Mumbai High Court in 1866 against Aga Khan. This case, famously known as the Aga Khan case, was heard by Sir Joseph Arnold. In his 1866 judgment, Judge Arnold ruled that the Khoja community is a sect of people whose ancestors were Hindu in origin, which was converted to, and has throughout abided in, the faith of the Shia Imami Ismailis, which has always been, and still is bound, by ties of spiritual allegiance to the hereditary Imams of Ismailis. The judge also upheld the Aga Khan's right as a spiritual leader to the ownership of community assets, as opposed to those being held as communal property by the Khoja community, as it had been for centuries. Ironically, a British judge who had little or no understanding of Khoja origins or culture, largely sealed the fate of the Khoja, permanently dividing the once united community.
The tragic consequences of the separation were also replicated in Karachi. Concurrent with the schisms in the Khoja community in Mumbai and elsewhere in the subcontinent, by 1870s, two Khoja groups had emerged in Karachi. One followed the Aga Khan, and the other group had stopped recognizing the Aga Khan as a spiritual head. The assassinations in Mumbai were actually preceded by a killing in Karachi. On March 2, 1876, a prominent Khoja figure who lived here in this house was attacked by an assailant with a knife. He survived the murderous assault, but 2 years later a bullet was fired at him, and alas, he succumbed to his injuries and passed away. This was Lalan Aladina, the first person in the community to sacrifice his life for practicing the Shia introductory faith.
In addition to offering the first martyr for their beliefs, the Karachi Khoja community has yet another distinction. Located a few yards from the Khoja Masjid in Karadar, this house, known as Wazir Mansion, was owned by Jinabai Punja. In this house was born a Khoja Shia Ithna Ashari boy on December 25, 1876, who grew up to carve out a new nation and change the map of the world. This was none other than Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the founding father of Pakistan. Karachi is the ancestral city of the Sindhi Khojas, who have played a significant role in the evolution of the Khoja community ever since its inception. The Jamaat had a population of less than 3,000 at the time of partition of India in 1947. With the arrival of the Khojas from Mumbai, Kutch, and Kathiawar, today it is over 40,000, making it by far the largest Khoja Shia Ithna Ashari Jamaat in the world. This massive Karachi mosque here in the Karadar area of Karachi, rebuilt in the late 60s, is wholly occupied on Fridays with over 5,000 worshippers. When first built in the 1800s, the beautiful mosque here was a pride of the place when Khojas densely populated Karadar. The Karachi Jamaat is formally known as the Khoja Pirhai Shia Ithna Ashari Jamaat. The name Pirhai has its origins right here at the place where the original Sindhi Khoja used to gather to commemorate the martyrdom of Imam Hussain in Karadar area. Pir is a Sindhi word and a name of a place where people come to perform the Azah, a mourning ritual around the Alam, a symbol honoring the martyrs of Karbala. After the separation from the Ismaili Khojas, those who had openly declared themselves as Ithna Asharis came to be known as Pirhai. This location, donated by Ghulam Hussain Qasim, continues with its century-old commemorations, where age-old wooden symbols of mourning, the taziyas, are kept to be taken out for the mourning processions, called Julis, on the 9th and 10th of Muharram, the day of Ashura. Just a short distance away, the Bara Imambara, established in 1878, is a historic center for Karadar. It is from this Imambara that the well-known reciter Allama Rashid Turabi used to deliver his Sham-e Gariban Majlis on the 11th night of Muharram, relayed live on Radio Pakistan. Thousands of Urdu listeners from around the world would tune in to listen to this solemn rendition, culminating in the 10-day of mourning for the Shias.
सूरह हिजर कलाम मजीद का 15वां सूरा है। ये सूरह की आखिरी आयत है और आखिरी आयत का आखिरी लफ्ज मेरी तकरीर का उन्वान है और वो यकीन।
Karadar was the center of the hub of all the activities. For example, Bagh-e-Zehra Street. Bagh-e-Zehra Street is a place where the Bagh-e-Zehra housing community is there as well. It also has a few other things. Right close to that one is the old Musafir Khana, and it was established way back in 1907 by the Chagla family. In Bagh-e-Zehra is the Al Sayeda store not too far from there, and it has an amazing story. The philanthropic Habib family established that store after partition, so that people who are moving into the area, into the city, with hardly anything on their backs would come in, get provisions, grocery, food, clothes, etc. at either subsidized rates or sometimes even at no charge. And what it did, it gave dignity to the community that had lost it on their way back. The Chota Imam Bara was built way before partition by Sayyid Qasim Hamir. He built that, that became the center of all Khoja activities. One of the earliest monuments in Karachi is a tower that was built by Sheikh Faddu, and that was way back in 1904. It's still a memorable building. The other one is an iconic building called the Khalid Dina Hall that was built by Sindhi Khojas as well. And in fact, that is an interesting history. When the partition, before the partition happened, the British government held a trial, a treason trial, for Maulana Muhammad Ali Jauhar, the most prominent center, which is called the Mehfil-e-Shahi Khurasan. Having been there many times when we first came to Pakistan, that center just stood for the tranquility, the peace, the calm.
Not many people know that when Quaid-e-Azam began to run the government after the partition, Pakistan did not have a state bank nor any money to run the government. It was the Habibs who wrote a blank check to the government of Pakistan and subsequently helped establish a state bank.
Over the years, an outward movement started from the congested Old Town Karadar area to the newly developing locations in the vastly expanding Karachi metropolis. This had even great impetus in 1989 with the emergence of Shahid Hamid Bojani as president of the Karachi Jamaat. Those who knew him were struck by his spirit of enthusiasm and a burning desire that propelled him to take the Karachi Jamaat to the next level. He yearned to improve the quality of education and the economic status of the less endowed members of the society. Today, the various institutions under the Fatimiyya Education Network, with its girls and boys school, are the hallmark of the contribution of Shahid Hamid Bojani, making the Karachi Jamaat one of the most progressive in the world. His successor, late Dost Muhammad Bojani, continued this legacy by adding Fatimiyya Early Childhood School and the Fatimiyya Girls and Boys Colleges. Fatimiyya Hospital is a dream come true of Shahid Hamid Ali Bojani. Efforts of late Dost Muhammad Bojani and his team established this hospital, which offers compassionate medical care to all in the area. Political upheavals in the early 70s prompted some Khoja to settle in PCHS society in Karachi. Thus began the illustrious Mehfil-e-Mortaza complex. Mehfil-e-Mortaza quickly became a catalyst in the development of the Khoja community in Karachi. This plaque here is a reminder of a tragic event on Saturday the 24th of Ramadan, 25th February 1995. Martyrs in the cause of the community are not only a history of the past. As fate would have it, Hamid Bojani, with 15 others, were gunned down by terrorists in cold blood inside the mosque here at Mehfil-e-Mortaza on that fateful day.
In this original Karachi Qabristan, divided by a wall from the Ismaili graveyard, has graves of the early converts dating as far back as 1906. This large 4-acre Hussaini Bagh Qabristan is nearly full. Here lie many of the prominent second-generation Karachi Jamaat leaders, including Hamid Bojani, Dr. Sibtain Dosa, and Dost Muhammad Bojani, as well as Sheni Haji, the former president of Mehfil-e-Mortaza.
In 1976, the World Federation of Khoja Shia Ithna Ashari Muslim Communities was born.
And in 1975, I convened a meeting at Hammersmith, England, London, on 20th of September 1975. And I sounded the people present there as to whether we needed an umbrella organization or not. Because the small Jamaats had already been formed, principally everywhere. And there was a common consensus and assent that we needed one. So in 1976, October, the Constitutional Conference was convened and the World Federation was born.
The motivation was the same: to knit together the Jamaats formed by Khoja Shia Ithna Ashari settled in England, the USA, Canada, other European countries, and the Middle East. Soon after the World Federation was formed, it spawned the formation of other regional bodies, like the North American Shia Ithna Ashari Muslim Communities Organization, NASIMCO, Council of the European Jamaats, the Pakistan Federation, the Council of Gujarat, and the Kutch Federation. The community outreach networks facilitated by the World Federation through its regional affiliates are the envy of many.
Where will our community be in the next 30 or 50 years? Well, I don't have a crystal ball, but as the Danish philosopher said, life must be understood backwards and it must be lived forwards. In addition to their trait of generosity and resilience, they had another remarkable trait, the spirit of inquiry. It was at these watershed moments in the history of our ancestors that they put their thinking caps on. When Pir Sadruddin came to Sindh, they were willing to be moved from their comfort zones and make a change. Centuries later, when they were again faced with the issue of their belief and their practice, they were not afraid to have that spirit of inquiry and make the change again. This trait of not accepting the status quo was not just in matters of faith. When famine and drought engulfed the Kutch and Kathiawar society, they were willing to make a change. They migrated across the ocean to Africa and made a new life for themselves. It is my firm conviction that if we continue to keep this spirit of inquiry alive, we'll be able to progress on this path, on this journey of faith that we started some 7 centuries ago. If not, then we will become mere joyriders on this merry-go-round of history.
President of Pakistan Federation for the second term as well. He is instrumental in many committees of World Federation, especially the Constitutional Review Committee. I am glad to invite Janab Abul Hassan Gokal on the stage.
Thank you, Kumail. I didn't know half of that, yes. Thank you for a very generous introduction. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Respected President of the World Federation, Janab Safder Jaffer Bhai, Dr. Hassan Walji, all the visiting delegates from World Federation, respected guests and well-wishers, my colleagues at the World Federation, the Pakistan Federation, including from Badin and Hyderabad, and of course KPSIJ, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you all for being here to commemorate the 3rd Global Khoja Heritage Day. As I start, I must also, was possibly baad mein phir mauka nahi ho, thank my incredible invisible support staff that has made this arrangement possible today for us to commemorate the Heritage Day. Just to reflect on this event, what is a community's heritage? It is the fabric of our identity as it weaves together diverse individuals into a bond. Every community has a unique origin, a unique story reflecting its values and its principles. But there's one thing that is equally or more important than heritage in this context. I will just come to that. Faith plays a significant role in shaping community heritage through its religious and social events. As a faith-based community, we have also acquired azadari as part of our heritage. With its age-old customs, the Imam Bargahs, all part of the culture. You saw a glimpse of that in the video. But community heritage is not just all about the past. It's about the present and the future. It's about preserving our traditions and adapting to the modern contexts. As we speak of heritage, let's not forget the importance of legacy, what Kumail Bhai just mentioned. Heritage is what we receive from our predecessors, and legacy is what we leave behind for our progeny. Equal attention, if not more, is required to be given to legacy, for what we leave behind will be a source of salvation for us, source of salvation and najat. Like what we have received from our ancestors is a source of najat for them, having guided us to the right path. Again, we saw in the video about the conversion. So it is our responsibility now to leave behind a noble legacy for our next generations, and the most noblest of these is the legacy of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, of his unwavering stance against oppression, beckoning us to uphold the truth even in the face of adversity. We take a moment here to take our thoughts to the oppressed people of Palestine and Lebanon. Another legacy that we wish to pass on and that we are so proud to have inherited is that of selfless philanthropy. And linked to that and today's event is that of seeking knowledge, as we all believe that knowledge is the lost heritage of the Muslims. So on this occasion of the Global Khoja Heritage Day, I take pleasure in announcing the launch of Fatimiyya International University, not just as the 248th University of Pakistan, but inshallah the only one where contemporary courses and curriculum and policies will be derived from the teachings of the Quran and the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. Future generations shall be proud and thankful to us in the capacity of their ancestors for this gift. If we do not establish this legacy, our progeny will be at the mercy of this world. Hence, KPSIAJ seeks your generous and unlimited support to this cause of the first university by any Khoja Jamaat globally. As Kumel Bhai mentioned, this very plot will be used for this purpose and also to house the artificial intelligence program that will be part of the university. Culminating the purchase transaction shall cost about $1 million, that's 28 crore rupees. Advance has been made, balance payment is due by March 2025. Kumail Bhai will elaborate on this. An introductory video shall now be aired to take you along this journey of education. Thank you.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Imagine a place where education goes beyond the ordinary, where young minds are shaped not just for careers, but for a life built on wisdom, justice, and human excellence. This is what Fatimiyya Higher Education System has always stood for. Now, we're ready to take the next monumental step with the creation of Fatimiyya International University. A university where universal values and academic excellence come together. In a world with nearly 29,000 universities, where most focus solely on careers and financial returns, FIU stands apart. It's a university rooted in the teachings of Ahlul Bayt alayhis salam, nurturing both the heart and mind. At a time when education often loses its moral compass, FIU will shape professionals who are not just experts in their fields, but who are guided by integrity, empathy, and leadership. And, more importantly, FIU will be the first ever Khoja community-built university in the world. A true historic achievement. Fatimiyya International University is not just another institution. It's an opportunity to reverse the trends we're witnessing today. Each year, over 700,000 young people leave Pakistan in search of better education and opportunities abroad. Meanwhile, higher education in Karachi, home to 26% of Pakistan's student population, remains out of reach for many families. That's where Fatimiyya Higher Education System and now FIU come in. We're offering an affordable, values-driven alternative that allows our youth to excel right here in their own community. And in these times of high inflation and the devaluation of the rupee, it's becoming nearly impossible for low and middle income families to afford foreign education. FIU will provide high quality education at a fraction of the cost, all while fostering a strong foundation in values and professional growth. A key milestone in FIU's journey is the acquisition of an adjacent plot, adding 25,000 square feet of space. This will allow for the expansion of academic buildings, research facilities, and state-of-the-art classrooms, enhancing our resources for students and positioning FIU as a hub for knowledge and growth. Our safe and secure hostel also opens doors for foreign students, offering an affordable yet high-quality education experience in a secure environment. FIU's leadership is further strengthened by the presence of renowned figures like Dr. Jamil Kazmi, Dr. Nisa Hamdani, Dr. Isha Hussain, and Dr. Shaba Ali. Their expertise has been pivotal in shaping FIU's growth. Visits and affiliations with key institutions such as the Higher Education Commission, Pakistan Nursing Council, and Dow University have also played an essential role in establishing FIU's credibility and reach. The World Federation has also visited FHES and stands firmly behind us in this mission, offering support as we move toward realizing FIU's full potential. Since 2011, Fatimiyya Institute of Educational Sciences has led the way with programs like the B.Ed, associate degrees, and diplomas in nursing and midwifery. But this is just the beginning. FIU will soon offer degrees in nursing, education, Islamic banking, psychology, and artificial intelligence, giving students the skills to succeed in today's fast-changing world, while grounding them in values that will shape their character. Located in the heart of Karachi, FIU is accessible to students from all corners of the city and beyond. We are continuing the legacy of success built by Fatimiyya Higher Education System, with graduates who consistently achieve top positions in their fields. Our students will leave FIU not just as professionals, but as individuals of strong moral character. We are also in the process of acquiring formal approvals for the FIU Charter. Preliminary inspections have been completed successfully, and we are now awaiting formal approvals. This is another critical step toward making FIU a recognized institution on a national and global level. Fatimiyya International University is set to become a lasting legacy for generations. A place where young minds will not only gain knowledge, but develop the values and ethics needed to build a better society. As we stand at this pivotal moment, the future of our youth and community rests on our ability to create this balance between professionalism and ethics. There's still more to do, and the journey ahead is an important one. To make this vision a reality, we need the support of those who believe in the power of education, the strength of community, and the legacy we are building together. Every step we take brings us closer to opening the doors of FIU, where knowledge, values, and opportunity will meet. This is your opportunity to be part of something truly meaningful. Together, we can create a future that reflects our shared hopes and dreams for a brighter tomorrow.
Before I move forward, I'd like to elaborate a bit on what Abul Bhai had asked me to. The total cost of the plot that we're sitting at the moment, it is the plot for the Fatimiyya International University. What better name to have an international university of? This plot values at 280 million, out of which we have already received 65 million Pakistan rupees. We've been committed around 70 million more, around $100,000 from Mr. Mustafa Himani in UAE, $150,000 from Riaz Bhai Premji, who's sitting right here, and a lot of money from Ali Hussain Bhai Rajab Ali, who's with us on Zoom as well. We've reached about 130, 140 million, so we've reached about half of what we need for the next 8 months. This program is not for asking for or raising fund for university. But I feel that it is my responsibility. I feel that this is something that I must. I think that the faces that I see today, I think these are the heroes. Inshallah, may Allah Almighty give you 100 more years of age, but I see you all being a part of that community heroes wall soon. Inshallah, after 100 years, 150 years, may Allah give you more age, but you will be in the community heroes wall, and I am sure that when we have a 25-year celebration of the university, we will talk about from some of the people who are sitting right here, who were there when the university was in its start. I think that this is the time that we all must step ahead. I think this is the time, as Hassan Bhai said, that his passion is to work for his 7 grandchildren. I don't know if I will have 7 grandchildren, but I think my passion should be to work for a university for my grandchildren. I've worked in the education field for about 15 years. I've taught in the master's program, in the bachelor's program at IBA, at Zabist, CBM. And I always used to think to myself, what if there was a university where I could be myself? I could talk, and whatever I gave in terms of knowledge in management, in HR and leadership was to go to my own community. And I think if God willing, inshallah, in the next 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, when the university is there, when the building is there, I will be, and I'm sure all of you will be in your capacities, be giving a lot of your expertise. The next person that I want to call is the person who is the chief guest today. The person we all know, and the person whose passion is something that we've all come to love. Al-Haj Safder Jaffer was born in Mombasa, Kenya. He spent several years of his teen age in Karachi and studied secondary school here. Welcome back to the city once again. He gained a postgraduate degree in Islamic finances, also resided in the holy city of Qum for several years, interacting with scholars and deepening his knowledge of Islamic theology. Specializes in the field of Islamic finances, including Islamic insurance that we call takaful these days. He is a partner in one of the largest global actuarial firms, and he has been in the profession for more than 20 years. He combines extensive professional, religious and community experience. He served as a chairman for Islamic Board, Education Board from 2003 to 2005 as well. I am so sorry I have to give you a long introduction, but Safder bhai, just 1 more minute. But I think he deserves all of this introduction that he is getting. He spearheaded the development of the Madrasa Center of Excellence worldwide, Tabia curriculum, and currently the head of Tarbiyah. Supported crisis management and mediation. He was an executive council for World Federation for 6 years, and now he's the president of the World Federation since 2020. I'd like you all to warmly welcome Al-Haj Janab Safder Jaffer.
I don't think I deserve all that, but really appreciate. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Respected President of Pakistan Federation and the Khoja Pirhai Jamaat, Shia Jamaat, Abul Bhai Gokal and his entire team. Hassan Bhai Walji, head of Khoja Heritage Project, members of the World Federation, respected philanthropists of our community, members from Hyderabad and Badin Jamaat, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's a real pleasure to be here. And before I embark upon a brief message on this very important event in the history of our community, the commemoration of the Khoja Heritage Day, as has been alluded to by Hassan Bhai as well as Abul Bhai Gokal, on the challenges that we are facing in the world today and the difficulties that people are facing through in Lebanon and in Palestine, and many those who have been mercilessly killed And at the same time, we also need to reflect and remember those who have given their lives for our community. The greatest of which in our community is Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah from the Khoja Shia Ishnashri community. Shaheed Lalan Aladdin, we just heard about him. Shaheed Hamid Bojani, and many others who have given their lives for our community and for the welfare of the Khoja Shia Ishnashri community and for humanity at large. And those who have lost their lives over the last many months and years, let us collectively recite Surah Fatiha. It's a real privilege that the World Federation has had the opportunity under the auspices of the Khoja Heritage Project to commemorate this very important event of the Khoja Heritage Day that is being relayed live globally across the entire community. Here in Karachi, Pakistan being the largest of the Khoja Shia Ishnashri community worldwide. And there are two distinctions, in my humble opinion, that I have collected from the little history that I have read and learned from my elders, and that has also been presented in this brief documentary, which is an extract from the Journey of Faith, which is a significantly larger film that I'm sure you should watch if you haven't. One is that the founding father of this country, Pakistan, is no other than a Khoja Shia Ishnashri Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. That makes it a profound distinction in the history of our community, because the Karachi Jamaat, I understand, and please correct me if I'm wrong, was established in 1892, and he was one of the early Khojas who embraced the Shia Ishnashri faith. The second privilege that this community has, that stands out as a distinction, is that the first martyr of this community, Lalan Aladdin, also comes from Karachi. As far as Lalan Aladdin is concerned, in the books that I have read and understood, as the journey of faith commenced with Mullah Qadir Singh Karbalai, who was requested by the Mirza of our time to go to Mumbai to support the community in its path towards the Shia Ishnashri faith, he stopped here in Karachi on his way from Iraq towards India. And when he disembarked, he lived with Lalan Aladdin. And it is said in his biography that he organized gatherings, the majalis, in the house of Lalan Aladdin. And it was in January 1876. Sorry, it was in 2nd March 1876 at 7 p.m. here in Karachi on Nashtar Road that Lalan Aladdin, there was an assassination attempt on him. He survived, but eventually it was on the 28th February 1878 at 9 a.m. near Denso Hall where he was martyred, the first martyr of the community here in Karachi. That makes it a distinction. As far as the Khoja Pirhai Shia Ishnashri Jamaat is concerned, again, the history speaks for itself. The evolution of the community has been profound. There is no doubt. We at the World Federation represent institutions. We represent 125 plus Jamaats with 6 different regions. And our role primarily is to support our Jamaats and regions globally. But private trusts have played their role, as we heard. The Habib family and many, many other families who continue to do so. But the essence of the growth of the Khoja Shia Ishnashri Jamaat is profound and a pride for the entire global Khoja Shia Ishnashri community. The journey that started in Kharadar, we heard about the Chota Imambara and the Bada Imambara, and the fact that many elders of this community, from what I have been informed, Ghulam Hussain Chagla, Abdullah Jagan, Tawar Maria, and Lalan Aladdin, all of who had played a major role in the establishment of the Chota Imambara. And that history continued, where the transition happened from Kharadar to Soldier Bazaar. under the able leadership of Marhum Shahid Hamid Bojani, and we have seen next door the profoundness of the Fatimiyya education network, from a nursery school to a primary school to a college to the only establishment university, the Fatimiyya International University. Of course, Habib University is there and is carrying out great work under philanthropy, but this Fatimiyya International University is the first Khoja Shia Ishnashri University under the Jamaat in the entire Khoja world. And for that, it is a great pride for this community. The evolution has been profound. As we heard, the heritage is to remember the past, but how do we move to the future? And what is that vision that we want to see, to aspire, that we move forward as a community here? The Fatimiyya Hospital is the only tertiary hospital that we have in the entire Khoja world. Yes, we have clinics. Yes, we have polyclinics. Yes, we have the Habib Hospital in Mumbai under a private trust. But the only hospital that is under the auspices run directly by the Jamaat, which is a pride for this community, with the aspiration of 200 beds. And when I sat with the Jamaat today, I was told your ultimate aspiration is 500 beds. Inshallah, that will also happen. And I'm so delighted that we are sitting here on this land that has been acquired. And Alhamdulillah, already 50% of that has been raised by philanthropists sitting here in front of me. Many of you I can see who are a pride of this community and who sincerely devote their resources to the strengthening of our institutions and its philanthropic work. And let me also take this opportunity, and I know you have said that today is not the day to raise funds, but inshallah, in a small way, the World Federation takes this opportunity to also announce that inshallah we will contribute $100,000 as capex towards this land. And not only that, the World Federation has already informed the Jamaat that as soon as the charter is established, we will be playing a major role in the OPEX expenses of this university, so that inshallah ta'ala this university not only becomes an embodiment for the Khoja community worldwide, but for the entire Pakistan and beyond, where we aspire to send some of the overseas students who study in the rest of the world, hopefully one day to come and study here in Karachi at the Fatimiyya International University. As far as the future is concerned, Chota Imam Bara, Bada Imam Bara, Kharazar, Soldier Bazaar, Fatimiyya Education Network, Hospital, the sports complex, the leaders are here who established it in front of me, some of them have gone and passed away. Alhamdulillah, enjoying and reaping the reward of what you are enjoying today. Marhum Dost Bojani, Marhum Shahid Bojani and others. The university will be a pride. I am informed reliably, and Riaz Bhai confirmed to me that inshallah probably this part of the land and whatever the future looks like, the artificial intelligence and sciences of nursing and others faculties will also be embedded as core subjects within Fatimiyya International University, and we look forward to that day inshallah. The hospital and its vision, the Jamaat introduced us to that today when we met them, but there is one dream that we have been aspiring for, and I have been craving that for the last 3 to 4 years. Takiba is here, you know that. Other philanthropists are here, you know that. We need housing now to move forward. This community deserves housing. I have no doubt that with the dynamism that you have shown, probably that very vision that you established to move away eventually towards the superhighway and a better condition of standard of living which other communities are already enjoying, let us quickly make that decision to make that a reality, whilst in that process to continue to support our families. It is not possible, it is not comprehensible for a leader of the Khoja Shia community, a servant, chief servant, to see that 2,000 to 3,000 families are living below life of economic dignity, below 50,000 rupees, below $3,500 a year. It is not comprehensible for such a philanthropic community. So I'm sure with the phenomenal work that has been done by this community, You will achieve that. We will support you, and I have no doubt the entire Khoja Shia Ishrashi community will support you in this endeavor. Last but not least, of course, for the success of our community here in Karachi and throughout the world, unity is important. I repeat that at every moment in time. We are a faith-based community. We have one faith, and that is the madhab of the Ahlul Bayt as propounded to us by the Prophet, the Holy Quran. And that continues to thrive us, to keep us together under one umbrella, and will always continue to be our guiding principles in our way forward with the humanitarian services we provide. My humble suggestion is to everybody, to the scholars in particular, to the community members, that let us make sure that we work in a unified manner as we move forward. The unity of this community is our strength. We are only 143 to 46,000. I can confirm that, because the census team will now come to Birmingham in December and provide the updated version because of the baseline study that has been done. But we are definitely under 150, but between 150 and 140. We are a very small community. We have got to work together. The Jamaats are our institutions. The private trusts should be supporting the Jamaats and continue to do the great work they are doing. We need to strengthen our Jamaats. We need to strengthen our regions. We need to strengthen the World Federation. We need to be unified. And I have no doubt that inshallah we will continue to do that, because institutions are democratic. It is a one man, one vote principle. The governance, the accountability, the transparency is profound. When today the treasurer was presenting to me the levels of accountability and transparency of the Jamaat, particularly ensuring that internal audit is embedded, global best practices are established. This gives confidence to the donors who are sitting here and many others who are not here. The more the transparency, the more the accountability, the more the governance, the more profoundness, and the more the effect that the philanthropists will continue to have. Be rest assured, Abul Bhai and your team, that the World Federation will continue to support this Jamaat that needs all its attention globally, inshallah ta'ala, because you do represent almost 40% of the entire global Khoja Shia Ishrashi community. Last but not least, I would take this opportunity of thanking our Khoja heritage team led by Hassan Walji and his entire team, both here and in London, and people working behind the scenes, and the Jamaat here who have supported them to make sure that this project and this program is delivered in a profound way. I would like to thank them, to the entire network of the Khoja heritage team, the Markham's team, the others who are working continuously behind the scene, many Jamaats who have organized this program. Today there was a program at the WF House in London as well, in Europe, in North America. Today the president of New York Jamaat sent me a message that we are going to have a great program this weekend in New York. Be rest assured, this is the spirit of the community, and with this spirit, inshallah, we will continue to prosper, not only in this world, but also in the hereafter. Thank you so much. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Safder bhai. I think there is a couple of mentions I feel that are missing. We've thanked the philanthropists, we've thanked the donor, we've thanked the World Federation, we've thanked a lot of people who've come here and supported us. But I think Jamaat University ki chal hi rahi hai, and we are talking about the Fatima International University. And I believe I speak for the managing committee of Khoja Pirhai Shia Isnashri Jamaat. I want to thank two people. First of one is Abul bhai. The Fatima International University was his thought. He was his baby. He started thinking about it. He worked day in and day out, and we are seeing the fruits of it today. The second person that I would want to thank, from all of the managing committee, and I think the philanthropists, and I think everybody who is sitting here, is Hassan bhai. Hassan bhai is the person who's been the the wheels under the every thought that Abul bhai and the team has had. He's actually the person who's taken the charter to the last, I think it's the last step, and I think there can be any day where we'll be able to give you a good news of the charter being with the Jamaat as well. So I want to thank Hassan Bhai as well. Before we move on to the thanking address, I would want to just take out 2 more minutes of your time, and I want to invite one of our representatives of the Youth Forum. I think this is something interesting, and this is something that you would like to see. I'd like to invite Sara Rajani on stage. Sara will explain you why she's here for a couple of minutes, and then we'll move on to the thank you address. Sara, can you move on from there?
Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening to you all. I hope you're all doing well, inshallah. I am Sara Rajani and I'm honored to be a part of the KPSIAJ Youth Forum. It brings me immense joy and gratitude to stand before you and share one of the key initiatives taken by the Karachi Jamaat, and it is the creation of the KPSIAJ Youth Forum. The journey to establish this forum was as fascinating as the forum itself. I would like to express how fortunate we are to have a platform like this where the needs of the youth are identified, addressed and worked upon. It empowers us to come forward and work for the meaningful causes that benefit not only ourselves but also the community. Alhamdulillah, in just been a year and we've achieved many small milestones. The Youth Forum has hosted many successful events such as the Youth Grill Fest, Coat Bash, religious workshops, and has also participated in the annual book fair that is held in the holy month of Ramadan, all aimed at engaging, educated, and empowering our youth. Alhamdulillah, it gives me great delight today to announce that we now have 12 teams within our forum, including creative design, education, workshops, health, IT, finance, and human resources. Each one of these is led by dedicated experts. Among all these, one of them, Connect for Cause, took an initiative this summer to identify and address the needs of the people within our community. Hence, we launched our first project under this initiative called Hydrate for Hussein alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajjal farajahum. This project started on social media where we encourage people to share pictures of themselves catering towards this good deed. Under the umbrella of this project, Sabines were also set up during the Ayyam-e-Azha. Surely, these simple yet impactful acts of kindness reflect the values of Imam Hussein alayhi salam and spread compassion to those in need. Our next project, which we're currently working on, is a plantation drive. The title for it is Flourishing Plants and Nourishing Minds. The objective behind this initiative is to minimize the heat, combat climate change, and contribute towards mental health awareness. The main objective is not only to plant a tree, but to make them sustainable for the generations to come. The first phase of this initiative was commenced 2 weeks ago, where we distributed the plants amongst the members along with the awareness of our project. Today, the Khoja Heritage Day celebration marks a significant moment as we inaugurate the second phase of our plantation campaign here in our premises. With great respect and admiration, I would now like to invite the Honorable President of the World Federation, Al-Haj Safder Jaffer, along with the President of the Karachi Jamaat and KPSIAJ Pakistan Federation, Mr. Abul Hassan Gokal, to lay the foundation of this initiative by planting a plant over here. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Thank you so much, Honorable Gentlemen. We thank Karachi Jamaat for the overwhelming support we've received. It's not just about executing our ideas, but being heard. We're proud of how far we've come, and inshallah, this is only the beginning. More exciting projects and events are on the horizon, and with your continued support, we can even create a greater impact. We're committed to working together for the Imam of our time, Ajalallahu Ta'ala Faraj Sharif. Thank you all for listening. May Allah and Ahlul Bayt bless you all. Jazakallah khair. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you very much. And as they say, yehi chirag jalenge to roshni hogi. I think this youth forum has done a lot of good work, and I wish them all the best for the future. Just before the thank you note, I'd like to invite Riaz Bhai Premji on stage to give a token of appreciation to President of World Federation and Dr. Hassan Walji. Riaz Bhai, if I can please have you on stage. I'd like to invite Dr. Hassan Walji first as the head of the Khoja Heritage Project. Yeah.
This also have to do?
Ji. I want to invite Al-Haj, and then Riaz Bhai, one more, please. I'd like to invite our World Federation President, Janab Safder Jaffer, on stage, please. Thank you, Riaz Bhai. Thank you, Safder Bhai. We were excited and we were very happy to be expecting the Secretary of the World Federation, Ali Jawad Hansraz Bhai, who was expected to be here, but then we had a change of plans. He had a change of plans and he was not available to come to this ceremony. But fortunately, he sent a video for all of us, and he is the person who's going to be giving the closing remarks for this year's Khoja Heritage Day inauguration session, as we would want to say. I'd like you to please listen to what the Secretary of World Federation, Mr. Ali Jawad Hansraz, has to say.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم World Federation Pramukh Al-Haj Safder Bhai Jaffer, Pakistan Federation Pramukh Al-Haj Abul Bhai Gokal, Khoja Heritage Project na Adhyaksh Murabbi Dr. Hassan Walji, Mara Wadilo, Bhaiyo tata Behno, Salamun Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. સૌથી પ્રથમ પરવરદિગારનું લાખ લાખ શુકર છે કે ગયે વર્ષાની જેમ આપણે બધા ફરીથી ખોજા હેરિટેજ ડેના અવસર વસીલે ભેગા થયા છે. ડૉક્ટર સાહેબનો હુકમ છે કે આ પ્રવચન ઇંગ્લિશ તથા ગુજરાતીમાં હોવું જોઈએ, એટલે હાઇબ્રિડ. તો મારી કોઈ ભૂલ ચૂક હોય તો માફ કરજો. Before anything else, may I first express on behalf of the World Federation our profound gratitude to the entire team of Pakistan Federation and Khoja Pirhai Athnachri Jamaat of Karachi for being our gracious hosts as always. I have a particular affinity for Karachi because my mother's family migrated from Bhavnagar to Karachi and my father's from Uganda. And Karachi welcomed us with open arms. मुंहिंजा ॾाॾा बापा ફોઈ કાકા મળે કચ્છી में ॻाल्हि करदा અને જે મારા નાના બાપા હતા માસી મામા બધા ગુજરાતીમાં વાત કરતા હતા પણ કોઈ દિવસે કચ્છી ને ગુજરાતીનો ઝઘડો નથી થતો हम सब ने उर्दू का दामन भी संभाल लिया और उर्दू ने कच्छी और गुजराती के साथ अपना रिश्ता ऐसे ही कायम कर लिया जैसे कुकू पाका ने हलीम के साथ और मंडाजी ने समोसा के साथ. And that, my brothers and sisters, is the beauty of being a global Khoja community and commemorating our elders, our shuhada, and the muhsineen who have led us to this path of Ahlul Bayt. Today, Khoja Heritage Day is being commemorated at multiple Jamaats across the globe. Each have their own distinct flavor, but all united under the banner of Muhammad Ali Muhammad Salawat. This reminds me of a share which I share with you all. Khira na kar saka mujhe, jalwaye danishe farhang, surma hai meri aankh ka, khake Madina o Najaf. I take this opportunity to thank all the Jamaats and federations who have held on to this extremely important cause. આ મહત્વ છે કે આપણી generations માટે Khoja heritageની અહેમિયત ઉજાગર થાય. I pray that long may this continue. અંતમાં આપણે બધા જેની રાહ જોઈ રહ્યા હતા, Khoja Heritage નિબંધ એટલે essay competitionના વિજેતાઓની announcement. મારી Khoja Heritage projectની core team, Marcom's team, કાર્યકર્તાઓ, staff, volunteers, judges and AV team, આપ સબનું ખૂબ ખૂબ આભાર. Now I'm very pleased to announce the 3 categories of winners. First category, children under 16, first prize being $200, second prize $100, and third prize $50. Mashallah, the third place goes to Brother Ali Jawad of Khoja Pirhai Shia Isnashi Jamaat of Karachi. Topic, a Khoja hero I admire. The second place for Brother Hussein Ibrahim, Khoja Shia Isnashi Jamaat of Dar es Salaam. And the topic was the story of my grandparents told me. And the first place, Savera Fatima, Khoja Pirhai Shia Isnashi Jamaat of Karachi. Topic, a Khoja hero I admire. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. The second category is the youths, 16 to 25. There is one prize, which is a full package for the Khoja Heritage Tour for one person. But before we announce the winners, an honorable mention of those who came very close. So we acknowledge their efforts. Mujahid by Askar Ali, Mehfil Zainab, Paris, La Courneuve, Khoja. Amina by Dhanji, Stanmore Jamaat, Khoja. And Mujtaba by Khaki, Peterborough Jamaat, Khoja. And the winner of the youth category is Sister Asia Dhala, Khoja Shia Isnashi Jamaat of Dar es Salaam, for her topic, Preserving Khoja Heritage in the Modern World. We congratulate Sister Asia with the Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And finally, the seniors category. There is one grand prize, which is the ground package for Khoja Heritage Tour for one winner and a companion. But before we announce, again, an honorable mention of those who came very close. And so we are pleased to acknowledge their effort. Zubaida Bai Shokat, Khoja Pirhai Shia Isnashi Jamaat of Karachi. Arif Bai Premji, France from Khoja. And Bina Bai Kanani of KSIMC of Birmingham under Khoja. And I'm pleased to announce the winner, Tasneem Bai Jaffer of Moshi Jamaat Africa Federation, for her topic, Passing Down Our Khoja Traditions. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I conclude, brothers and sisters, with a vote of thanks once again to all the Jamaats who have been commemorating the Khoja Heritage Day with all of us today as one big family. Once again, a debt of gratitude to the volunteers, leadership and members of Khoja Pirhai Shia Isnashi Jamaat of Karachi. And finally, may I please request you all to recite Surah Fatiha for all our marhumeen and our shuhada. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Bhai, thank you very much. The next person that I will call will then officially end the ceremony after giving you the thank you note from the Karachi Jamaat. Before I call him, I thank you all that you've come here, and I thank you from my side so much for me today. I'll call our Managing Committee member and the representative Pakistan Federation to the World Federation, Mr. Mohsin Giwala.
Assalamu alaikum everybody. Thank you very much to all the respected guests, and I know it's getting late, so food is served. Just 2 more minutes and inshallah we will close the ceremony. Just before we thank you all, I would like to invite Riaz uncle, if you can just please come in. We missed one ajrak which we had in store, and please if you can come in. And would like to invite please Mr. Taqi Jaffer of Jaffer Family Foundation, please if you could kindly come up and receive a token of thanks from Riaz uncle. Thank you, Taqi bhai. As per Riaz bhai, it's a special award to Taqi bhai for giving Riaz uncle 4 hours of his time. So thank you very much. And on this note, I would like to officially close the presentation for today and open up the Khoja Heritage Weekend. It's been a great pleasure, and Hassan uncle, thank you so much for the amazing video. It's really taught us a lot about our history and makes us proud, you know, to be Khoja. Sometimes you get confused with this Khoja, Shia hai, Khoja hai, but honestly, we are Khojas and we should be proud of it. And as a community, we should be the ones to really change the game for the Shias around the world. Thank you very much for your time, and inshallah, we will see you very, very soon. May Allah bless you all. Jazakallah. And with the final words, dinner is served.